These are my table scraps. So I'm not really sure of the origin of the term table scraps or if it really has a set definition. But the way I see it, it's just like a little work in progress build that you're kind of experimenting with one technique on, or more than one technique. It's not necessarily going to become a full build, but it lets you do some experimenting without having to commit to doing a full build. It's like a doodle or a sketch, but Lego. I've actually been sitting on a few of these for a few years now actually, and I kind of wanted to just talk about some. Like these two here, they're probably about 4 years old at this point, and I have not let myself take them apart. And they are both entirely made of the 1x1 tile clip. In my head, I call it a cheese clip. I know that makes absolutely no sense, but cheese slope, cheese clip, again, absolutely no sense. That's just how my brain works. But if you didn't know, you can take these clips and kind of stack them. Two edges kind of make up the width of a plate that will fit into the clip, and it lets you make this like fairly flexible, almost fabric. And a few years ago, I made many roofs with this. This right here is actually one of my favorite builds that I ever did. But for this one, I took more clips and clipped them to the side, and that kind of made it so it bent a certain way. And at some point, I want to use this for a roof. And then for this, I guess, wheel, it's just that clip thing in a circle, or I guess cylinder, and then more clips clipped to the outside. The idea is to use this for a Febrovary, but I always forget to do something for Febrovary. Suffice it to say, cheese clip, S tier piece. This one is just some basic stud reversal, and it kind of has the vibes of like Hobbiton but Star Wars. They definitely are too short to be stormtroopers. These vertical tiles are held in with some Exoforce hands clipped together. It's a fun concept, I just don't think I'll ever actually make the build. This engine piece is one that I 100% want to eventually use. I believe it started with lining up these two wheel wells and then realizing this propeller fits inside of it. At least for the top half, these newish macaroni pieces fit like perfectly around the wheel well. I gotta figure something better out for the bottom one, but I absolutely love this and need to find a use for it. It's a turtle. So way back in February at Atlanta Brick Con, I built this turtle at Ant Bandit's house. It was a contest to build the best animal. I should have won. It was rigged. Please internet, validate me. Which turtle is better? The head is an army man helmet, and in my opinion, it's the perfect shape. I just gotta swap out some of the colors, and I've actually got an unsorted part strap from Atlanta that has some of the pieces I need. Wow, amazing pieces. But I just need 4 of these and 1 of these. I just need a few more parts in green to fully finish this, and finally the cheese clip comes in green. I just need to pick a couple up, but unfortunately neither the neck nor tail come in green. I'm gonna just have to settle for standard green, and it'll probably make its way into the Enchanted Forest. This little castle ice cream cone is for a build that I've shared while talking about the Enchanted Forest. Well, not build, doodle of a build. And this is actually a build I've wanted to do since before the Enchanted Forest was a thing, and I just need to start it. I got all these Duplo roofs that I want to use for a castle and see how much Duplo I can use in that castle, and not just as filler, as like actual visual pieces. But back to the table scrap, it's this little tower thing over here. Just some interesting round techniques. These curved slopes are clipped to some life preservers. This is an old rubber tire, and up here there'll be some like Tudor work. I really just need to get this project started. And sometimes you start a table scrap to use a specific color, and then all of your friends tell you they hate the use of that specific color. I started this specifically to use light violet for these windows. Everyone says I should switch it out to like black. No, that's boring. That's not why I'm doing this. Also, using sand blue and dark bluish gray for stonework, I'm really liking that. But yeah, no, I did this whole thing because I wanted to use the light violet for these windows, and I'm gonna keep doing it. And this last one I built like 5 minutes before starting this video. Basically, it's just some yellow Tudor work. I really wanted to try this technique using these windows. They fit pretty well in these rail plates, and it creates just this really cool look. And then I did some funky bracket SNOT math to get the Tudor work to line up with the rail plates, rather than having it like set back from the rest of it. Also, one of these classic cheese slope windows. And on this side, I've got some pretty exaggerated sloping, but it's using the cheese grater piece. Now, if I was to try to put them on a plate, they wouldn't line up, but using brackets, I offset them half a plate and they do line up. So yeah. Wait, so going back to the window and the previous table scrap, I've got this. Almost forgot about it. I wanted to see if I could do this in one of these larger door frames, and I've almost got it. Even got enough space for a door handle. I'm using light violet, so it would go with this build. I know I said the last one was the last one, but this is really the last one. If you go back on my channel about 2 years ago, you'll find the Duchess's Crow. It's a space pirate ship I built for Brick Fair, Virginia 2022, and then redesigned and rebuilt for Chicago 2023. Now, I never made any content on the second version, and I've even made a second smaller ship that I've also not made any content on, and I'll maybe someday get around to making content on those. And this is only relevant because I made a Microscale version of the first version of the Duchess's Crow. This has been sitting for 2 years, and I've never done anything with it. It's also no longer relevant. I do actually really like it, and maybe I'll finish it as a memento to the first one and where this all started. Okay, now we're done. So yeah, table scraps. Just a really great way to try out a new technique you've seen. Maybe you've had an idea, just build it. Don't necessarily commit to a build, just a table scrap. And reminder, I start working on a new tree video when I hit 2K subscribers. Bye bye now. Wait, I found one more.